Raise your hand if you've ever been told or felt that you're not good enough, whether it's for a job, whether it's you're too tall, not tall enough. I see that. What if I told you that you don't need to qualify to win? That seems contradictory coming from someone like myself who used to be an athlete. Because my motto was always, you train, you qualify, you win. So I used to train daily to improve on my 100 meters timing so that I'd qualify. And then I'd win. Not all the time, but my motto was, I must win. But life's got a way of teaching us lessons, especially the ones we think we know. I want to share with you 3 races that changed my entire life. Races that I didn't train for, I wasn't qualified in, but I still won. Put your trainers on, ladies. I gave birth yesterday. The 4th of July, I gave birth. But the year, 1995. I remember that day as if it was yesterday. The doctors standing over me, looking down at the child. I'm expecting to hear the baby cry. I'm expecting to hear, congratulations, Mum, you have a new baby. I didn't hear that. I heard 3 shattering words. Non-viable delivery. I'd had a miscarriage. The doctor explained that my child was born 4 weeks earlier than the viability of life threshold. You see, I was only 20 weeks pregnant when I gave birth, barely halfway through the normal 40-week pregnancy. My child, he was less than a bag of sugar, 8 inches in length, small enough to fit in the palm of my hand. There I was, looking down at this child, his heart frantically beating through his translucent skin. His eyes hadn't yet opened. I remember the doctor's hand on my shoulder as he left the room. That silence said more than words itself, an acknowledgement he had made of a loss. I laid in that sterile delivery room, and I felt the crushing weight of disqualification. My son didn't qualify to live. And I felt I didn't qualify to be called his mother. We were stranded in a place that shouldn't really exist. A mother who had lost, but then not lost, her baby. But for me, I felt like an imposter in the most important role of my life. But here's something the doctors didn't know about my son. My son had my DNA, the I will win DNA, the I will fight DNA. And he did. For 7 months, we spent in hospital. Our journey wasn't linear. Every day, a new challenge. There was a blood transfusion. There was an infection. There was a procedure. I stayed by his bed because I was afraid to leave, just in case I missed just my last moment with my son. There were days that I felt as if we were coaching each other in a race that no one believed we could win. I learned in that moment that true champions, they're not born qualified. They qualify through the race itself. That day came. That day came when my son came home. We had won. We had won. We celebrated. It was party. It reminded me of the Barcelona Olympics, 1992, when some people would remember when Derek Redmond pulled his hamstring. Everybody thought the race was over. It was the actions of his father that showed the world that winning doesn't always look like what you expect. I knew that feeling of that father. I felt it. My son was home. Yes, with a whole medical team, an oxygen cylinder that filled the whole nursery. But he was home. We had won. 5 years on, as my son developed, autism became our second race. I wasn't qualified for autism. I had no training. But what I decided, I'm going to look for support. I knew there'd be limited options, maybe expensive options. But what I didn't know was that there'd be no support at all. There we were again. What my son desperately needed didn't exist. Out of exhaustion through looking for services that might suit my autistic son's needs, one evening in my lounge, I decided, okay, if what my son needs doesn't exist, I'm going to create it myself. Hold on. I had no experience, none at all in childcare. I had no premises, no business plan, no staff, no cash. Building something from nothing, it's a lonely path, and you could say ridiculous path. Banking applications would fall through because I didn't know how much I was asking for. Premises I went to see, I didn't know what I needed. And the social care regulations, well, that's like a new language. But let me tell you what I did have. I had the resilience of an athlete to keep going. I had the experience of a mother of an autistic child that gave me the vision. And I had a career in banking. No, that was no help at all. Today, I lead award-winning residential care homes. They are recognized by Ofsted, all of outstanding. For over 10 years, I have provided care to children and young people, 100 families we have supported on this journey who were told no option. So what started as one child's race is now over 100 children's race. And the final race? That's still ongoing. That's not a sprint, that's a marathon. And there's no end line. And I'm still running it. Maybe you're still running yours. You see, this race isn't about speed or perfection. It's about looking at a child with a disability and seeing their potential. This race is about allowing children with disabilities to thrive, excel. Not only do they meet our expectations, but they fly. A couple of months ago, I had the privilege of seeing a young man who had come to us unable to make eye contact and unable to really make full sentences. I watched this young man graduate to his independent living, a child with autism. That feeling was more than any gold medal I'd ever won, because he represented my dream and the dream of every parent of a child with a disability, that one day they too will see their child live an independent life. There's 3 things I've learned about this race. Winning doesn't always look like what you expect. Your greatest achievement is the one that you thought you were unqualified for. And the third is the challenge is in the fight. This isn't just my story. It could be yours. Because whenever you find something that you feel you're unqualified for, that's your race, and that's your race, and that's your race. And my son, the non-viable child, he celebrated his 30th birthday yesterday. My gift as a mother to him, to this audience, and to the world, he won.